If the gloomy skies today had you feeling down, you're not alone. The winter blues are real, especially on top of an already stressful 2020.
Yeah, piling on, right? But there is a way out. There is a glimmer of hope out there. CBS 13's Marley Ginter shows us how we can fight these sometimes miserable feelings. Marley?
Tony and Elizabeth, miserable was the key word we heard from just about everyone today. And it's really no surprise. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, millions of Americans are impacted by the winter blues every year. The gray clouds and raindrops were bound to happen, but something we haven't seen in a while.
I don't know, how long? A million days?
It's horrible. It's cold, it's wet now, and I just want to be home. That's why I went and got some candy.
Perhaps this year, when it rains, it pours. A new survey by the California Healthcare Foundation found 91% of providers are seeing an increase in patients reporting anxiety, depression, and even thoughts of suicide.
I personally know of people who are young and they've talked about suicide, and I've talked to them and said, look, that's a very permanent thing to a hopefully temporary situation.
Could it be worse this year, considering the pandemic and now this election we just had as well? That was, obviously upsetting to many people.
Yes, of course. You're talking about other major stressors.
Psychologist Diane Powell told me extra stressors this year, like the pandemic, the recent election, are bound to have an impact on seasonal affective disorder, or SAD.
There's a concern that more people will be depressed this year because of all the stressors out there. Now, on top of that, if you also have SAD, it's going to be worse.
Adding this and then the lockdowns, it's all getting to be too much.
I work out, so that's where all my stress goes into working out.
That's one way to work around it. After all, little Olive Castro won't let anything rain on her parade, already finding a light at the end of the tunnel.
I like jumping in puddles. Yeah, I really do like that.
Yeah, I think we all need to find a puddle about right now to splash in. Well, no pun intended with the light at the end of the tunnel, but psychologists do recommend light therapy. They say that there's a special bulb that has what's called 10,000 lux, low UV, that really helps. But even if you don't have one of those, just 20 minutes every morning next to any light can work.
All right, helpful information, and I loved how you ended that story with little Olive letting us know that, hey, there's always a puddle out there we can jump in no matter what.
Good perspective. Thanks, Marley.